Hi again, everybody. Bill Phillips here on a Monday. It is the 9-Minute Phill-Up. It's a Monday. It is Game 7. Is there anything better than a Game 7 to talk about? No matter what the sport, if you're in the NBA, NHL, it does not matter. Game 7 is Game 7. All of the chips, anything and everything you've always dreamed for, your hopes and dreams in the middle of the table. Game 7 tonight, National Hockey League, Edmonton Oilers. They're looking for the historic comeback. They have won 3 straight games over the Florida Panthers to even the series at 3 games apiece. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend. So we'll leave that there for a moment. The weekend, hopefully, everybody had a good one. Hopefully, everyone stayed cool. It was hot out there. How did you stay cool? Make those comments, add them in if you would. Welcome, everybody. It is a Monday, as we mentioned. It is Game 7, as we mentioned. It's also a big day for employees across the country, across the world. Really, it is the day of days, and this is why I say this. It is the National Take Back the Lunch Break Day. So if you have a lunch break and maybe you sit at your desk, maybe you're trying to get some extra work done and you don't want to take that break. You don't want to take that half hour, that hour, whatever they give you, 15 minutes. Today is the day, apparently, that workers unite, join forces, get your lunch break. Don't eat it at the desk. Don't eat it at your desk. Take a break. Go to the cafeteria. Go outside. Little picnic. Whatever. It's your time. Take the break back. Let's go, people. Take the break back. It's National Lunch Break Day. Take it back. That's the day. I don't know much else about that other than that. So if you're packing a peanut butter and jelly, you've got maybe a refreshment as well. So take the day back. Go enjoy your lunch. Go enjoy your lunch, and then follow your lunch up with this. Pralines. It's National Pralines Day. Tracy checks in. Tracy, good morning. Waive my lunch break so I can leave earlier. Like that. I like where your head's at. I would do the same thing. I would do the same thing. Peyton, thank you for joining us. The Phill-Up, what a way to start the week. It's a big week. Peyton, what do you have for us? Do you have anything that's on your mind? Anything on your noggin that you just want to get to? Right now, we're talking about taking that break for lunch. Do you want it? Do you want to give the half hour back and get out earlier? That's what Tracy did. She gets out earlier. I don't blame her for that at all. I tell you what, I think that's a as they say, that's a boss move. That's a boss move. So let's see where we're at with that. But the big story of the day is not only lunch, but then what do you follow it up with? Well, it's National Pralines Day. National Pralines Day. I don't know if I'm a big praline guy or not. I'm sure I've had pralines. If they put them on a plate, I might not realize that that's a praline, but I probably didn't enjoy it. And here's why. National Pralines, a confection from nuts, whether in whole pieces or ground up, with sugar syrup. Sugar syrup. Refer to any, or it can refer to any chocolate cookie containing ground powder of nuts. 17th century, first pralines, almonds, and it was caramelized sugar that they coated the almonds with, the caramelized sugar. So those are the first pralines back in the 17th century. We have here, Dennis worked for a company that insisted we take 1 hour lunch away from our desk. Dennis, did you like that? Did you like that, or did you think that was too much? Did you think, well, I want to take my hour and then I can leave an hour earlier? Or they just built it in and didn't matter what you wanted to do? Or did you like that? Did you like that hour break in the middle of the day? Let you recharge the batteries, get back to the grind after that. And what did you bring to lunch? You have anything good for lunch? What did you bring? Or did they have a cafeteria? All big questions that we're looking into. So pralines, just to finish up the praline story, not a lot going on the 24th of June in terms of national days, but Pralines Day. Now, Belgian pralines, they sound like the ones that would speak to me a little bit. This sounds pretty good. They are hard chocolate shell, softer sometimes, however, with a liquid filling sometimes. So that sounds pretty good. The French are the almonds and caramelized sugar. Americans, milk, cream, softer, and they tend to be a little bit creamier. So it's cookies. I mean, can you really go wrong? Can you really go wrong? I don't think so. So hopefully everybody have a good weekend. Peyton, what'd you do this weekend? Peyton, get ready to start the week, and it's nicer out today. That's the one nice thing. It wasn't quite as hot. Everybody enjoy the full strawberry moon over the weekend. It was huge on the horizon. Absolutely sensational. I saw it when I drove back. Went to Columbus this weekend. Took in a Columbus Crew MLS soccer game. Went with a bunch of coworkers that here at WTOV9 and thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Had a great time. We had the best seats in the house. It must have been in the front row. Bob Euchre would say we were all the way at the top, all the way top in the last row. But the seats were good because the stadium's not that big. It holds 20,000. They sold it out. But in the top row, you can stand. So we were having a good time and blowing those horns and cheering on the Crew. They went to a win. Peyton, umpiring up in Steubenville. He's ready to go. All right. Fortunately, you won't have a heat wave to deal with today. It'll be a little bit cooler. A lot of big calls. Peyton's going to be you're behind the plate or on the bases. Beyond the plate or on the bases. That's the thing. Because if you're behind the plate, you're running the whole show. Well, wait a minute. Let me say this. Peyton's always running the whole show, whether he's on the bases or not. So, Peyton, have a good game today. Have a good game. All right. I liked it. We're back to Dennis, and we have about the work break for lunch because today is National Take Your Lunch Break Back, a day for workers. Dennis liked it. Gave us time to go to restaurants for lunch. Worked at a company with a cafeteria, and the food was good. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, if you have an hour, you could probably go out and get a lunch someplace. And if you have a cafeteria, yeah, it sounds good. Sounds some downtime. But I counter with Tracy, taking the lunch off, get to leave a little bit earlier. So, two options out there, but I like them both. It all depends on what you want to do, and but if they're forcing you to do it, at least they're giving you an hour, and you got to have the option of eating in the cafeteria, maybe going someplace. So, sounds like good company. Now, did the company have pralines, Dennis? Did they have some cookies for you in the cafeteria that were pralines? Because if they had the chocolate chips, chocolate chip cookies, people wouldn't want to leave lunch because they'd be in on those chocolate chip cookies. All right, we just have a couple minutes left. This might be our shortest Phill-Up of the week. Have some other stuff got to get done this morning. So trying to manage my time a little bit because you know me, I'll start telling stories. Next thing you know, we're going to be here a half hour, but we'll be having fun. If anyone wants to add anything else in, well, we're back to Game 7. Had the opportunity when I was working at PXI in Pittsburgh to cover Game 7 between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Detroit Red Wings in the Motor City. That was back in 2009, June of 2009. Marc-Andre Fleury with the finishing touch, the great save to preserve the lead for the Penguins. Max Talbot with 2 goals, the hero of the day, and the Penguins win the Stanley Cup. But I think maybe the hero of the day was Phil Bourque, because in our pregame show, the old 2-9er, the Stanley Cup champion from the Penguins' first 2 Stanley Cups, I said we need to pay homage to Gordie Howe. We were in Detroit. I tried to get him to do that, do the interview that we did before every game in front of the Gordie Howe statue and just kind of say, hey, Gordie Howe, he might be the greatest. Give him a little love in Detroit. And he fought it. Then in Game 7, he goes, you know what? We may have to do that. That might be the difference maker. We did it, talked about Gordie Howe a little bit. Then we talked about the Penguins and what they would need to do to win. And they came up with a win. So I was glad that we went to that statue. And afterwards he said, well, I guess you were right. But anyway, it works. The Penguins came up with a big win. It was absolutely sensational to be at a Game 7. Diane has checked in. Pralines in New Orleans a year ago. Wonderful. Oh, man, that sounds pretty good, Diane. I don't remember seeing any of those pralines, but those had to be very enjoyable. I'll tell you what. I will say this. I'm going to throw this out there. If you want to go on a food vacation, you just want to try some of the best stuff. New Orleans. Now, some of the cuisine's a little bit different. If gumbo and things like that, jambalaya, but just in terms of overall food, fabulousness, New Orleans is spectacular. New Orleans is really, really good. And it's got great music, great art. All right. Every Thursday, they made pecan rolls. And we got to eat at the cafeteria or at the back door. So good. All right, Dennis. Tell you what, Dennis, where did you work? Are they still hiring? Because this sounds like a place you want to go. All right, good deal. And then Trace says, when I started with this company, I had to drive back to work and they had a cafeteria and I had to take lunch. That was nice. But now we work from home, and I like being done early. So I start at 5 and I'm done at 1. Tracy's playing the game. Tracy's playing the game. She is working it. She's working it. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. That is a good deal right there. All right. A lot of good comments today. So, anyways, we're gonna fit up. I don't know where Jordan is today. Well, actually, I do. Our producer extraordinaire for the Phill-Up, for the Bills 9-Minute Phill-Up, and of course our morning shows in the midday show. She is a big Edmonton Oilers fan. I talked to her on Saturday. I asked her if she was flying to Miami, or not Miami. They're in Sunrise, but that's where she would have to fly into Miami. Yeah, she could fly into Lauderdale, I guess. Flying to Lauderdale or Miami, somehow get a ticket, go to the game. She said she'd thought about it. And I said, well, how much would that cost? She said, I thought about it, and then that went away. So I think it probably costs a lot of money to get to tonight's Game 7. But you've got the Edmonton Oilers. They've outscored Florida 18-5 in the last 3 games to force Game 7. Now, one of those games was an 8-1 win, so it kind of throws everything off. Interesting. What's behind us? I don't know. What is going on here? Let's take a look. I don't know what that is. Let's go background. We're on a tour of an open house. Very interesting. Take a look at that. All right. Well, enough of that. All right. I don't know why that's done that. Okay. Well, anyways, before something comes up on that screen that I'm not supposed to know about, we're going to get going. So Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers tonight. Edmonton looking for their first win in 30 years, basically. They've won 5 cups in 7 years. That was back with Wayne Gretzky and the group. Tonight, Edmonton and the Florida Panthers. Now we're watching a commercial. Interesting. Everybody have a great day. I'm going to turn this off before we get in trouble on the web. I don't know. Anyways, have a good one, everybody. We will see you next time. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.